Businesses failed during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression, a lot of things caused people to have hard times. The Great Depression was a time when people were out of jobs and were poor. There were lots of causes that caused businesses to fail. One of those causes was that during World War I, farmers had to feed soldiers that were fighting in war. So that means the demand for crops was increasing. Farmers didn't have enough money to buy seeds to plant more crops, so the farmers borrowed money from the banks to buy seeds. After World War I ended, the demand for crops decreased. During that time, the farmers didn't have enough money to pay the banks back because the demand for crops was low, so they sold their farms to pay back the banks the money that they borrowed. Another cause for businesses failing was the stock market crash. When the stock market crashed, businesses were running out of money because people had no money to buy from stores. Because of this, stores stopped ordering from factories. So the factories could not make enough money for the people that worked in the businesses that they worked for to earn their pay. The third cause for businesses failing is that during World War I, the demand for weapons increased. During World War I, demand for weapons increased. Because of this, most businesses changed their stock to weapons. But after World War I, the demand for weapons went very low. The business owners tried to change their stock back to normal, but they didn't have enough money to buy the supplies that they needed. Because of these reasons, businesses started failing. There were many problems after businesses started failing. One of the problems was that businesses went bankrupt and people became poor. This happened because people got fired and they could not find jobs to support their family. People could not pay back the money they owed to the banks because they borrowed it. People mostly borrowed money from banks when they got fired. Almost everybody lost their jobs. Some people were lucky if they didn't get fired. Another problem that occurred after businesses started failing was that children were told not to go to school. This was for two reasons. Families could not afford the tuition, and the schools were out of business. The children did not get a proper education. The last problem that occurred after businesses started failing was that factories had to fire workers because stores stopped ordering. Stores stopped ordering because people were too bored to buy from the stores, so the stores didn't need any supplies. After businesses started failing, there were many problems.
A lot of things happened impacted the USA when businesses started failing. One impact was that cost per fuel rose to 25 cents because that was all people could afford. Some people couldn't afford it. Another impact was that the people were very poor. They were so poor that they had to borrow even more money than the banks if the banks were already empty. The last impact was that people formed charities to feed poor people. Restaurants set up days when there was food and food was free. People started making places for homeless people to sleep. When businesses started failing, it impacted the USA in a lot of ways. In conclusion, when businesses failed, a lot of things happened. I realized that the Great Depression caused many problems and was a bad time.
The Great Depression changed the USA in a lot of ways.